Okay, good morning. This is Coach Brown. Today is March 23rd, and this is day 6 of our remote learning. So what we're going to do is a quick review on solving a system of equations using graph. Okay, so we're gonna show a sample problem here, Delta Math. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this presentation ready. All right, turn the camera off here. All right, so here we go. All right, so let's look at the Delta Math problem. So you can see the top equation is y equals 2/3 x minus 2. The bottom equation is y equals negative 1/3 x plus 1, okay? So what it is, all right, y equals, they're both in slope-intercept form. So that's y equals mx plus b, okay? So b is your y-intercept, okay? So that's what I call your starting point for your graph, all right? So what you'll do, it's negative 2 here with the top one is your y-intercept. So we'll go to negative 2, and that's where we'll make our point here, okay, on our y-axis. So right there. All right, so I made my point for my y-intercept. Now, the slope m, all right, is 2/3, okay? So you got to pay attention if it's positive or negative, all right? So if it's positive, we'll go up and to the right. If it's negative, we'll go down and to the right, okay? So the top number, and again, positive tells you up or down. The top number is positive 2, so we're going to go up 2, so 1, 2. And then the bottom number is 3, so we'll go to the right, 1, 2, 3. And so you should be able to see that line right there, all right? Now, if you do these by hand on paper, first off, you'll want to have graph paper, and then next off, you'll make sure you have some kind of straight edge, okay? Delta Math and Desmos and everything, they create perfect straight lines for you. But if you draw it by hand, you're gonna want a straight edge, and you're gonna want graph paper. That way you draw it precisely, okay? Because if it's off, you won't be able to see the point where they cross, all right? So now let's look at the bottom. So with the bottom one, the y-intercept is 1. So I'm gonna go to 1 on my y-axis. And then now when you look at it, this slope is negative, okay? So for negative, the top number tells me up or down, all right? So since negative, I'm gonna go down, and I'm gonna go down 1 since my top number is 1. So down 1, and then to the right, 3. So 1, 2, 3, okay? So now you can see where they cross. All right, they cross at, look, my x coordinate is 0, or my bad, sorry about that. My x coordinate is 3, all right? So 3. And then my y coordinate is 0. So my answer here is going to be 3, 0. All right? And then make sure you put it in parentheses. Make sure you separate it with a comma. Okay. All right. So let's do one more real quick. Okay. So now let's look at the top. All right. So y equals negative x plus 5. So we're going to start again. That's where I started. Is my y-intercept. So I'm going to start at 5. Now, for the slope, okay, remember that's like a -1 for my coefficient. Okay. So -1. And then when you think about that, like an integer or a whole number, when you write that as a fraction, it's always over 1. So the slope for that is really -1/1. So I'm going to go down 1 to the right 1, just like that. All right. Now let's look at the bottom. Okay. My y-intercept is going to be +1. And then this is a positive slope. So I'll go up 1 and to the right 3. So up 1 to the right 1, 2, 3. All right, so it looks like they cross at my x coordinate's going to be 3, my y coordinate's going to be 2. Okay? So when we type that in, we put in parentheses 3, 3, 2, and that's going to be that. Okay, so that's how you solve a system of equations using graph.